toughest task against Collingwood. Obviously, last year lost by just 1 point and then 2 points as well. How much does that also factor into the game?
Yeah, look, we have some pretty good recent contests against Collingwood. We're really excited. They've hit a pretty good run of form themselves, and obviously playing them at the G, something that players are really excited for, but it's a bit of a fortress for them too. So, we've prepared really well, we feel, this week, and we can't wait for it. It's going to be a great contest and an important game for both teams.
Rochelle said you kind of have to build your own energy, given it is such a hostile crowd. How do you go about doing that?
The best way to build energy, in my opinion, is to play together, play for your teammates, so celebrate all the little things you can, and if you can get a little run on against an away team, you can sort of build your backs up against the crowd, and it can create some really good energy amongst the team. But we'll have some really vocal supporters that will make their way over there, and they're always heard too, so we really appreciate their support as well.
Obviously you don't get a chance to play there very often, but it's been quite a while since Rose has won at the G. Even seen Riley O'Brien yesterday, played over 100 games and never won there. How does that factor in, and is that become sort of a mental block when you go out there to train stuff?
I think, as you said, we don't play there too often, so it's certainly not something that's front of mind as you go there and think about when you play there. I think because of the impact the MCG has on the game of footy, the side of the grand final, I think there's a lot of excitement every time you do get to play there as a player. So certainly not something that we think about or talk about going into the game, and we feel like we've prepared this week as best we can, and we're just going to give it our best shot.
Are the boys out for a bit of revenge given the results last week?
Look, certainly, like I said, nothing we've spoken about, but Collingwood have been a quality side in the competition for a couple of years now, and you get yourself ready to compete really hard against those teams, and I think the close games we had last year gives us confidence that we can compete really well against them. So, we're going over there with a job to do. We can't wait to start and hopefully come back with the 4 points.
Is there any better time to play them? They're just so injury depleted at the moment.
Yeah, I think we had the same conversation with Brisbane last week too, but it just shows the guys who generally come in for those injured players are really hungry to make the most of their opportunities too. So you've got to be really wary of looking at teams when that happens. And one area of the ground, obviously, they had a sort of changed forward line last week, but those guys performed really well for them too. So you've got to be really wary of the guys, the quality players in the AFL. Everyone on a list is a very talented player, so certainly expecting a tough game from them.
Just on the changes, obviously, Lockie comes back in, and Lyle and Curtin are the two guys that come out. Is it fair to say that it's likely that Luke Curtis sort of comes in and shuffles things around with two defenders out and a 40?
Yeah, and we've got Will Hamill come in as well, so we feel like we've got great balance amongst our team, and guys who can play a number of positions. And Nank's shown for us he's got the ability to basically play all over the ground, defence, wing and half forward, so he's a really important part of our team, giving us that flexibility.
What was the mentality behind omitting Curtin?
Sorry?
What was the mentality behind omitting Dan Curtin?
Oh, yeah. Dan's a very talented kid. He's come in and he's played in a couple of really big games for us, and he's just a young guy developing his game. He's got a lot of talent and he works really hard, and we love the way he goes about his footy. And he's got a couple things, like everyone on our list, that I always want to get better at, and we've sat down and had a chat about that this week, and he'll go away and work, but we're certainly really excited about what he is going to bring for us in the future.
What are work on? What does it mean?
Yeah, we'll keep them internal. It's obviously between coaches and player, and like every player on our list, as I said, there's always things that we do want to get better at, but certainly a talented guy, and we love his attitude. He's going to be, as I said, really important for us.
Dixie touched on Wednesday. How do you make sure that he doesn't drop his head, especially after being subbed out twice and then coming outside? How do you make sure that he doesn't take it to heart?
You talk to him inside. He works really hard, and he's really clear on the areas of his game that he wants to work on, and it's just as simple as that. Give him a lot of confidence to know that he's a 19-year-old kid playing his first year of footy, and being a defender myself too, it's a really hard spot to play sometimes. But he's going to be super for us. He knows the areas, and on the other side, I think he's got a lot of weapons that so many guys in the game don't have, so he'll be fine.
How is his mentality? Obviously, just a 19-year-old kid coming twice, being dropped or subbed out rather twice, and then to be omitted. How is his mentality?
he's a really positive guy. He's so coachable. You know, we're really happy with the personality that he is, and obviously he'd love to be playing again, as every competitor would in the AFL system. But he's happy to go to work, keep working at his game, and be ready to put his hand up as soon as possible.
What does Hamill bring for you guys?
Sorry?
What does Hamill bring for you guys? Sorry.
You're right. Yeah, look, Hamill brings experience for us. He's in really good form at the sample level, and obviously we saw him in the AFL side earlier on in the season and playing some really strong footy for us. So we're excited for him to come back. He's got good ball use, then he's got a real tenacious intent to defend as well, which is really important in our team. So, you know, he's going to be really handy for us to drop into our back line and give us a bit of that flexibility. He can play sort of deeper and higher up the ground too.
Who goes to Nick Dacos?
He's a very good player, so we'll certainly got plans in place, whether it's, you know, a tag or a full team effort, but players of his calibre, you've got to have multiple plans in place, and you know, credit to him for the impact he's having on the competition at such a young age, but we'll certainly have a couple of things ready up our sleeves to go if we need to.
Just wanted to touch on Darcy Pyke. He got a bit of criticism earlier in the year, obviously with Tex, everyone's already saying, always thinking what happens after him, but last few weeks looks like he's sort of hit the top of his form again. How have you assessed his season?
Yeah, look, he's going really well at the moment. It's never through a lack of effort. He's been trying his guts out all year, but it's also, you know, circumstances of, as a forward, you're a victim of how well we're delivering the ball to you as a forward too, as a team. So there's a lot of that coming in. We're playing, you know, slightly better footy the last few weeks, which has given Darcy opportunities. And, you know, we're wrapped with the way he's going. He works really hard. He's a leader internally at the footy club, and the best thing about him is that, you know, you know what you're going to get. He comes in, works hard every week, and he's had a couple of really important games for us previously, the last couple of weeks. So, you know, we'll continue that hopefully, but certainly we want to make sure we give him the opportunities as well forward of the ball.
I guess just one more on Dacos as well. Will Keys be considered for that tagging role in the team kind of defence?
As I said, a couple of plans. We'll keep them quiet until the game time, but yeah, you certainly have to respect him with some pre-planning for sure.
What does Keys actually bring to that tagging role? Because he just seems so good at it, especially when Dacos is going to be down the back line. Yeah,
well, Keysy plays a really important role forward of the ball for us too. To his credit, he works really hard, and we're seeing that in the forward role he's playing for us too. So again, a lot of guys in our team who are really flexible and give us a chance to play different positions across the ground, which is important in our system.